Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Retro X-Men Marvel's Beast. This is the fan channel slash fan, what did they call it? Famazon? It's a fan channel exclusive, but also including that is Amazon. So not all fan channel exclusives go to Amazon, so it's like a regular release, but not, it's a weird thing. But I just got mine from Amazon today. I know for the last few days, people have been getting their shipment notifications. So here we have Beast. I need to double check what is new with this Beast. I know he's basically, you know, that first original release from the, which Build-A-Figure wave was it? He had a Build-A-Figure piece too with him, right? It was the, Caliban wave, I think, right? So there was that one, and then we had the other retro X-Men, the Gray Beast. So I will do a comparison with these two, and I'm trying to think of what accessories are going to be the same. I believe the glasses are going to be the same, and hopefully that's going to work with my Selfie series figure when it comes out. And then we got the two flasks that, I forget the two different types now when I just reviewed them with the Lizard figure, but we got those again, so I'm really excited. My card came a little bit messed up from Amazon, which doesn't really matter because I'm going to be opening it anyway. Here on the back of the package, the bio reads, Dr. Henry McCoy, the gentle giant of the X-Men, uses his mutant physicality and genius mind for the betterment of humans and mutants alike. Oh, that's cool. So here we go. I'm going to open this up. I think this one head sculpt is new. What I really would have liked to have seen, though, was this head sculpt in blue, because this one reminds me more so of animated series, and I think that would have been awesome, but alas, still with out of our reach. But I'm sure customizers probably have painted this one up at times. But let's take a look at this Beast. Let's get it out of the package and check out that sweet, sweet lab coat. Okay, so here is the Beast figure out of the package, and yeah, he's great and all, but it's basically the same that we had gotten before. But I do love the new head sculpt, and I love the color of the hair being blue, whereas the old one is black hair with blue shading in it. So I do like the color of the new one. I think it is much better. The lab coat is actually really, really nice. Like, I can't, it's really nice. It's like a nice, I don't know, nylon polyester fabric. It's done really, really well. It's huge, so it's not going to fit a standard 6-inch figure. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to put on Mr. Fantastic. It's not going to look good, so we'll just get that out of the way. We get these glasses on here, which are kind of cool, because I plan to use this probably for my Selfie series, even though it's not quite exact to my real glasses. But these glasses are kind of crap. They don't really stay on either head sculpt, because the way, you know, this loop, it doesn't actually, you know, hook onto any ears or anything to try and support and try and get it to stay. They just don't fit on there real well. So they're just gonna kind of fall over, so that kind of sucks. We get the same hands that we had gotten from previous figures, Beast figures. There's really nothing changed there. We got the flat hand, so he can, you know, stand on one hand. You know, if you get him to balance correctly, you know, he could just kind of balance on the one hand. We have a fist for the right. We have a holding hand for the right, and then we have what was, I guess, the book holding hand for the left. But it's kind of difficult because neither of these hands really work well with these flasks. You kind of have to just, you know, force them in between his thumb and his index finger to kind of hold. It doesn't really work out. It's cool that we got him. You know, he is a scientist, so that is pretty nice. They're the same things of what we had seen before with the Lizard figure. This one is cool because actually they put some deco on it, and you can see it says X-Gene 6 on there. So that is really cool. But again, it's essentially the same. We get the two different head sculpts, and I'll have to double check to make sure that these head sculpts are the same, but I'm pretty positive this is the same as that one. You just, you know, get the color difference. But this new head sculpt here, I actually do really love. So let's get in for a closer look so we can check out those head sculpts. Okay, so here we are for the closer look at the head sculpt. This is the new one, and this head sculpt is really freaking nice. It came out really great. The hair is kind of weird. Why do we have this like strand of hair that goes along the sides there? That's kind of weird looking, but the head sculpt is really nice. Again, I really like the blue hair. I think that actually looks really good. They didn't even put any shading or what? There might be, no, not really. There's not really even any shading in there, but I love the way it came out looking. It came out looking really, really nice. That is definitely my favorite head sculpt of the three different head sculpts that we got before, because this one is the same as the previous. So we got this one here, which came in the original release. There, again, it's the same. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but when you have different deco, it's amazing, you know, what difference paint can make. So that is the same. I didn't bring it out, but the Gray Beast had the same head sculpt, but then we got this additional one here. And again, I would have loved if this one came in blue, because I think this one looks a lot more, you know, animated series like. So I would have loved to have seen this blue in a blue head sculpt. Unfortunately, again, we do not have that, but we have this one here. And I keep forgetting about Dark Beast. Dark Beast was a different one altogether. You know, of course, that head sculpt is completely different. But, you know, he wore pants in that one. That's, you know, this is different. But looking at the figure, we actually get painted on fingernails this time. We did not get that on the original blue one. Same with the toenails. They were not painted, so we got them painted this time. The Gray Beast actually did have them painted on there, though. So it's kind of similar there. I'm trying to think of Dark Beast, and I can't remember off the top of my head. So that is a big difference. We do not get as much of the shading on this figure as we had done in the past. So you could see there, like on the calf, a lot of blue shading there on the fur. We did not get that. So on this guy, we really don't see that. And I'll have to take the lab coat off to really look at it total. But I just wanted to really show the lab coat. You know, we get a nice pocket there. But yeah, it is a very nice, like, polyester material, I want to say. Like nylon polyester, whatever, I don't know materials. But it's done really nice. I don't know how difficult it's going to be to take off. I'd imagine to make it easier, we're probably just going to pop the hands off, and then we're going to kind of slowly pull back on it to try and get them out. Usually, let's see, we'll make use of those butterfly joints. That is probably going to go a long way. And then just kind of tug on the sleeve, and you can remove the jacket. And again, that jacket is really, really nice. So here now we have the Beast, and I can see that, hey, we do get some shading on some of those fur tufts in some areas. So that is pretty cool. It's not just all just straight blue. I mean, it is, because the shading is a different shade of blue, but we get some here. So right here in this chest here, we get some dark blue shading there. Right here on the shoulders and that tuft of fur, we're getting some shading there. Same on the other shoulder. And that's kind of it. Yeah, that's it. So we don't get any on the back. So it's just there, the chest and the shoulder. Whereas again, this figure, it was kind of all over the place. We had it on the calves, the feet even got it. The hands got it, the forearms a little bit, and then the shoulders, the chest, and then the actual back and everything like that. So a lot less shading here, but we get the color for the fingernails and the toenails. So, you know, trade-off there, plus we get soft goods lab coat. And Hasbro is not known for their soft goods. Very, 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 very few figures actually use soft goods. So it's kind of nice to see that in the lab coat. It works out a whole hell of a lot better as opposed to a rubber lab coat, which will hinder every bit of articulation and truthfully wouldn't really work with the Beast figure. They didn't have a choice but to do a soft coat, a soft goods coat to be able to actually get it to work. But I think it came out looking really nice. But again, essentially the same exact figures here. These belts are even the same. So now let's go ahead and check out the articulation if you are new to this Beast figure. Okay, so Beast, he can look down that much. The head is on a disc, ball disc hinge, so you can look up that much, which is good. You get full rotation there, which ends up working out kind of like some pivot. And you can see that there as well. The shoulder can go basically straight out there. Full rotation in there. Of course, there is a butterfly joint, so you can get that arm to go back hella far. Coming forward is only going to be very, very little because it doesn't actually cut into the chest at all. So for crossbody, it doesn't really work out so well, but you know, there's some upper bicep swivel in there. You get a double jointed elbow, and again, this is an older body, so we do not get pinless. Here on this figure, like normally, you know, pins don't bother me so much when it's the same color. Aesthetically, of course, pinless is better, but when the pins are the same color, it doesn't bother me so much. The problem with Beast is because the arms and legs are so thick, those pins are really recessed in, so then it makes it noticeable to where it's almost the pins are black in color because they're just, look how much they stand out. So in this instance, it sucks. Pinless would have been awesome, but again, we've had the figure before. It's a really good figure. Pinless would be great, but you know, I can't expect them to start replacing everything, you know, to pinless. You know, maybe in a few years that's something we'll see for a Beast figure. But double jointed elbow gives you that much bend, just so slightly above 90 degrees, because again, his biceps so large, his forearm is so large. The wrists all swivel, and they have the standard horizontal hinge on there. So this guy, we actually get the diaphragm cut and inverted ab. So Beast can pivot, let's see, he could pivot to his left that much, he could pivot to his right that much. Going back without the ab is that much. Coming forward without the ab is very little, but then we have that ab crunch in there, so getting the ab forward, you get that much bend, and then going back, you get a whole heck of a lot going there. No waist swivel on this guy, so you actually get a swivel at that diaphragm cut like we normally would see. Legs go out that far apart, so you can do the full-on splits essentially. Kicking forward, you can kick forward that far. You can kick back a little bit. We have it's a little stiff upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, so pretty good bend at the knee there. Foot hinges all the way down. You get some nice hinge up, ankle pivot, and toe hinge. So we don't see toe hinge very often. You know, the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man's got it, but Beast has got it as well. Other than that, I'm trying to think of what other figures might have toe hinge, and I really can't think of any. So toe hinge, you know, few and far between. So when we got it, it works out. It's used for the right characters. So there is Beast. But again, let's see Beast along with the other Beasts. Okay, and here we have the Beast colors, and seeing them side by side, you can really see the real color difference between these two Beast figures, and it's kind of shocking to see. But I actually do really love this lighter blue as opposed to this darker blue. It just looks a lot better. This is more like a sky blue, whereas this one kind of had a bluish tint. It reminds me almost of the blue that my car is. So it's a lot different, and seeing them side by side, it's kind of crazy. And then next to the gray Beast, of course. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments below which Beast do you prefer out of the three. I'm gonna go with the new one because that head sculpt, I love that head sculpt. It is done really, really nicely. Let's take another close look at it. Yeah, I can't get over how good this head sculpt looks. I think it came out fantastic. It does have a digital face print in there, and it's really just kind of the eyes and kind of a little bit the lined up, the black lines around the eyeliner, I guess. But it just looks so good. Man, I really, really like it. I think it's awesome. Okay, so we took a look at taking the coat off. Let's take a look at putting the coat back on and how easy it's really going to be to get those arms through the sleeve. You want to straighten out those arms best that you can and just kind of pull on the sleeve up through the arm. So the biggest hurdle is getting this sleeve around the shoulder piece there. That's probably the biggest challenge in doing this. And, you know, having the sleeve a certain way so when you turn the arm, trial and error here. I think that works out. Let's get that collar piece folded down. Let's get these hands on there. I will try to balance this guy on the one hand while wearing the lab coat. We'll see how that works out, but there we go. I'm putting the lab coat back on, and I feel like I probably should tug on them sleeves a little bit more, but again, it's just working it over that shoulder that's going to be the biggest challenge. But yeah, there we go. Not too bad. So I'm trying to record at various different intervals and stages of me trying to get this to balance. The problem is that like the plastic just wants to settle, and then distributing the weight. And I want to try and get it real time for you guys to see, you know, how tricky it can be. Ah, so close. It was moving. Let me get my arms off the table. Let's see if I could do it. Hold on. Here we go. I can feel it. I'm gonna get it. Maybe not. It's difficult, and with the lab coat, because you have to move the arm in certain ways and get it to stay. It does make it a little bit difficult. There we go. It's moving, but it's got. I had it. Let's see if any prolonged time that is just becomes really difficult, because, you know, some of the pieces are a little soft. You know, the hands are a little rubbery, so the joint, you know, becomes a little loose and stuff. So it's you know, it's not impossible. It's doable, but how long to get it to balance and stuff, that's the tricky part. So that was the longest as he tumbles. It's doable, but it's hard. So I made some adjustments to the legs and the feet, and I was actually able to get a couple pictures taken. So there, it can be done. Again, not a real long time. Okay, so to end off the review here, we have a side-by-side comparison so you can see how he looks amongst other X-Men. We have the Cyclops and Wolverine, the Jim Lee style Tiger Stripe. And then we are getting an update to this Cyclops, which I'm super excited about. Can't wait to get, because these things keep falling all over the damn place. So those straps will be all in place on the new one for the animated series show. We are not going to be getting a Beast for the animated series show. You could kind of use this one for that. I think the head sculpt is just a tad bit off. You know, we need more of the smiling Beast, you know, glasses that will really stay on. But solid action figure for sure. I'm happy to have it. It's awesome for folks to be able to get this Beast figure that are either new to collecting or missed out on that previous Beast figure, which was very difficult to find, even in stores, even at the time. Ordering online, sure, you had the chance to pre-order. Not everyone pre-ordered. Even back then, pre-ordering has become more consistent now, I think, with newer and newer collectors. But this is a chance for people to get on Beast that you know, that missed out. If you have the previous Beast that I think was the Caliban wave, you may not need this new one. And it could be an easy pass for you. Save you a few bucks, because this one's definitely a lot more expensive than this one was. This one was 20 bucks, and I think it came with a Build-A-Figure piece. I may be wrong on that. This Beast here is like $33.99 on a retro card. So it's more expensive. Do you get more accessories? I guess technically, well, the Gray Beast had a book, but you get the flasks, which are cool. You get a brand new head sculpt, though. There's the paint on the toenails, but you're getting less shading. So, yeah, but you get the soft goods lab coat, which soft goods on action figures, I hear, is actually really not cheap. Everyone likes to throw out that, like, oh, it's pennies to make these things. It's not technically, and especially with soft goods, there's always a high cost. You know, early on when I was collecting, I was collecting wrestling figures, and Mattel would always say, you know, soft goods are really expensive. So you would see like figures that would come with like a soft goods shirt. They may not come with very many other accessories because a lot of the cost goes to that soft goods shirt. So again, here with Marvel Legends, Hasbro doesn't do soft goods a whole lot. So, you know, when we get it though, it's done really nicely, and then I'm sure it just throws off the budgeting of it, which sucks. You know, we don't like to pay more. But, you know, on the aftermarket, this guy was probably crazy expensive. So, again, for $33.99, people have a chance to get this Beast figure. And he has some awesome accessories, a really nice head sculpt, which I think is the best. So, you guys let me know down in the comments below all your thoughts on this Beast figure. Are you happy that we're getting it? Have you gotten yours? Are you picking it up? You guys let me know in the comments below your plans. If you guys are interested in joining the MCU Collective and becoming a channel member, hit that join button. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.